On December 4th, 1872, a merchant vessel was discovered drifting through the Atlantic Ocean, completely abandoned. When salvagers finally boarded, what they found defied all logic. 10 people had vanished without a trace. The ship was seaworthy, its cargo intact, supplies still laid out in the galley. Yet every soul aboard had disappeared without explanation. The Mary Celeste was a 103-foot brigantine built in Nova Scotia and registered in New York. She departed New York Harbour on November 7th, 1872, bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol. Her crew consisted of Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 experienced sailors. Nearly a month later, Captain David Morehouse of the British vessel Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste approximately 400 miles east of the Azores. She was under partial sail, drifting erratically through the waves. Morehouse knew Captain Briggs personally and immediately sensed something was wrong. There were no distress signals, no response to hails, only silence. A boarding party rowed across and climbed aboard. The ship was eerily intact. 3.5 feet of water sloshed in the hold, not enough to sink her. The wheel spun freely, unmanned. Personal belongings lay scattered, but undisturbed. Captain Briggs's logbook sat open on his desk, the final entry dated 9 days earlier, recording nothing unusual. The cargo of 1,701 barrels remained secured in the hold. 9 were found empty, their contents missing. The galley still contained food and water, enough provisions for 6 months. The crew's pipes were laid out as if they had simply stepped away. Beds were unmade. Toys belonging to the captain's young daughter rested beside her bunk. Only 3 things were missing: the ship's single lifeboat, a sextant used for navigation, and the chronometer needed to calculate longitude. The lifeboat davits hung empty, suggesting a careful, deliberate departure rather than panic. But why would an experienced captain order his crew to abandon a seaworthy vessel in the middle of the Atlantic? There were no signs of violence, no blood, no fire damage, no evidence of a storm severe enough to force evacuation. The rigging was intact, the hull was sound, the cargo had not shifted. Whatever compelled 10 people to leave the ship did so without force, disaster, or visible struggle. The Dei Gratia crew sailed the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, where a salvage hearing was convened. British authorities suspected foul play. Some proposed mutiny. Others suggested insurance fraud. Captain Morehouse himself fell under suspicion, accused of murdering the crew for salvage rights. Yet no evidence supported any theory. The most widely accepted explanation centers on the cargo. 9 barrels of industrial alcohol were found empty. Some experts believe vapor buildup in the hold may have convinced Captain Briggs that an explosion was imminent. He may have ordered the crew into the lifeboat temporarily, planning to return once the danger passed. Another theory suggests a sudden waterspout or violent squall made Briggs believe the ship was sinking. The crew may have entered the lifeboat while still tethered to the Mary Celeste. If the tow line snapped in rough seas, the lifeboat would have drifted away, leaving the ship to recover and sail on alone. A third possibility involves a seaquake. The Azores region is seismically active, and an underwater earthquake could have violently shaken the ship without causing structural damage. The sound of shifting cargo and tremors may have convinced even an experienced captain that the vessel was breaking apart. After 3 months of investigation, The Gibraltar court awarded the Dei Gratia crew a salvage payment, but only 1/6 of the Mary Celeste's value. An unusually low amount that suggested lingering suspicion. No criminal charges were filed. No bodies were ever recovered. The Mary Celeste returned to service under new ownership, but sailors refused to crew her. She was considered cursed, a ghost ship that devoured souls. For 12 years she passed between owners, each voyage plagued by accidents and financial loss. In 1885, her final captain deliberately ran her aground in Haiti in an attempted insurance fraud scheme. Modern analysis has only deepened the mystery. In 2002, a documentary team used simulation software to test the alcohol vapor theory. Even if fumes had built up, they would have dispersed within hours. The crew could have safely reboarded, yet they never did. What haunts investigators most is not the ship, but the people. Captain Briggs was an experienced seaman, deeply religious, and devoted to his family. He had safely sailed the Mary Celeste for nearly a month. What could possibly have convinced him to place his wife and 2-year-old daughter into a lifeboat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? No wreckage from the lifeboat was ever found. No bodies washed ashore. No final message surfaced to explain what happened. The Mary Celeste remains one of maritime history's most enduring enigmas. A reminder that even in an age of reason and record-keeping, the sea keeps its secrets. 10 people vanished, and the ocean never answered.